day 10 of Immersive March Madness, and I already have to go back and make an update to one of my videos, as Frame just dropped some new features. On day 5, I posted a video about app smashing with Frame, meaning that you can go embed and continue to utilize important Web 2.0 apps such as Padlet, Edpuzzle, Genially, Quizzes, etc. In this week's update, Frame has added the ability to directly embed those websites, making them visible and accessible without having to create a link and position them in an embedded tab. Let's take a look at what this means in practice. Here's the site that I used for the app smashing video, and just as a refresher, when you click on these text boxes, then the website opens in an embedded tab. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the link for this website. Now notice over here as I turn to the left and I click on the plus on the wall that the new features do not appear in that menu. In order to access the new tool, you have to go to the plus in the toolbar and search for web content and web embed, and then paste in the URL. Once it's there, it takes a little bit of positioning to be able to move the new embedded website in place so that it lines up with the wall. This takes some practice with using the gizmo to turn it on its axis and then position it where you would like it to be. But once it's in place, you'll notice that anyone in this frame can access that web page live without having to click any link. So that is a fantastic new addition. So if I try and copy this Edpuzzle link and go over to the other wall and try and add a second one by going to the plus in the toolbar, clicking on Web Embed, you'll notice that I get an error message saying that I can only have 2 iframe windows in one frame. And that's because this weather gallery already has one embed, so currently the use of iframes is limited to 2 within one frame environment. So here's the weather gallery, and I'm going to go and see if I can add a website that would allow the students to be able to see the weather here in France. You'll notice that yes, the system does take the URL. However, the website will not load within the iframes, so it takes a little bit of trial and error to determine whether or not a website is possible to be used with an iframe. So if I try this website, copy the URL, go back to Frame, click on the plus, go to Web Content and Web Embed, paste in the URL, you'll notice that it is, this time, successful. If I use the edit function to be able to click on the corners, reposition the website, and line it up with the wall, and there I have the ability for the students to be able to look at the current weather as part of this weather gallery. On this next example, I'd like to show another possibility here within my interactive presentation that I made about skiing. At the end, I have a button that allows you to click and access a Padlet, but that Padlet opens in an embedded tab. I'm going to copy the URL, click on the plus, choose Web Embed, and you'll notice that now my Padlet is live and accessible here within the presentation. I'm going to rearrange some of these other pieces here so that I can have some space for users to be able to interact with the Padlet while they are live here in the presentation. As you can see, that is a much more immersive and easier access for the user. Lastly, I'm going to go to the Women's History presentation. You can see that I have numerous web pages on the wall. Now it's important to note that this web page was not a web embed, but it was what is called a web screenshot, which used to be available in Frame. I did not pay attention to the fact that I already had other iframes embedded in this environment. So therefore, when I deleted it and went to add a new web embed, I got the alert message saying that I can only have 2 iframes. So a word of caution for anybody that has existing Frame environments to understand that limitation and to think about that before you go and edit any of your existing presentations within Frame. One of the other updates in Frame is that they have connected my webcam to my Ready Player Me avatar. So when I go down to the settings here and turn on this optional feature up here in the top right, now when I look into and make facial expressions into the camera, those show up in my avatar, creating a much more realistic and immersive experience now so when I am shocked or I am happy, you can clearly see that through the face of my avatar. There are a couple of other updates in Frame, so I encourage you to go to their website, and I will add a link to the video where Frame themselves detail some of those updates.